Assalamu alaikum dear students and a very good morning to all of you. Hope all of you are doing great. So kids, welcome to the class again. I am your social studies teacher and my name is Nida Sahar. So kids, as you all know that we had started our fifth chapter, our past. In my previous lecture, we had talked about the ancient sites of Pakistan, in which I had discussed the Indus Valley civilization, and we had talked about the Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. We had also talked about the Aryans. Today, we are going to discuss the great empires which have been found after the Aryans, and we are also going to discuss about their learning and their religion. So let's begin. So kids, do you remember the main ancient sites that are found in Pakistan? Okay, tell me first, what is the meaning of ancient? Ancient means old. The main ancient sites that are found in Pakistan include Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, Taxila, Mehergarh and Rahman Deri. Clear? So kids, do you remember what is an Indus Valley civilization and why it has great archaeological importance? It was an advanced civilization around the plains of the river Indus in about 2600 BC. This civilization is called Indus Valley Civilization because it was located at the plains of the river Indus. Kids, do you remember why it was considered as an advanced civilization? Because the people who used to live there were really ahead for that time. They used wheels, made pots and other vessels. They used metals to make different tools. They also made cloth. We can still see the remains of houses, temples, baths, granary and streets with proper drainage system. So that's why it was considered as an advanced civilization. So kids, as you all know that we had talked about the Aryans, and who were Aryans? Aryans were a large tribe from Central Asia who came in the subcontinent from the northwest around 1500 BC. The Aryans were a strong, active and lively race. They used to travel in horses and chariots. Kids, do you remember which new language they brought up? They brought up a new language called Sanskrit. Aryans brought a new culture with them. The Aryans settled in the Indus Valley and then spread to the other parts of the subcontinent. Right? So kids, today we are going to talk about the great empires who came after the Aryans. On page 73, I have highlighted the main points and I am also going to read the chapter. So the first one were the Persians. In the 5th century BCE came the Persians who created a huge empire including the land which is now Pakistan. Their capital in this region was Taxila. They introduced many new ideas and also learned new ways from the Aryans. The Persians were followed by the Greeks. This is the second dynasty that comes after the Persians, under Alexander, who defeated the Persians and crossed into the subcontinent through the Khyber Pass. The Greeks influenced the art and sculpture in Gandhara and Taxila. This region was mainly Buddhist. Okay, now I'm going to read the third dynasty, that is the Mauryans. From the east came the Mauryans. The most famous Mauryan ruler was the Ashoka, who extended the Mauryan Empire through wars and conquest. But after the Battle of Kalinga, in which more than 150,000 people were killed, Ashoka was shocked by the destruction. He became a Buddhist and gave up the violence. Now, the other dynasties which we are going to discuss are the Kushans, Guptas, Parthians, Huns, and Nanda. So, we are going to discuss them one by one. I am going to read the third paragraph now. The Kushans came from Central Asia. Their most famous ruler was Kanishka. Then another dynasty came up, the Guptas. They had a large empire and strong rulers like Chandragupta. The Parthians and the Huns came into the subcontinent from the northwest. The Huns were a savage Central Asian tribe who caused a lot of destruction wherever they went. So, kids, first let me tell you what is a dynasty. A dynasty is when one family rules a country or a region over a long period of time. A sequence of powerful leaders in the same family. Generally, the head of the family will be the ruler of the land, like an emperor or a king. When that ruler dies, another member of the same family will take the power, usually the oldest son. Right? So, what is dynasty? Dynasty is when one family rules the country over a long period of time. Clear? So, here are the names of the dynasties and the great empires that rule the subcontinent. So, the first one were the Persians. Number 2, the Greeks. Number 3, the Mauryans. Number 4, the Kushans. Number 5, the Guptas. Number 6, the Parthians. Number 7, the Huns. Number 8, the Nanda. So these were the great empires that ruled the subcontinent. First, I am going to talk about the Persians. In the 5th century BCE came the Persians, who created a huge empire including the land, which is Pakistan now. Their capital in this region was Taxila, which is located near Rawalpindi. They introduced many new ideas and also learned new ways from the Aryans. The Persian Empire is the name given to the series of dynasties centered in modern day Iran that spanned several centuries. The first Persian Empire was founded by the Cyrus the Great around 550 BC, and it became one of the most largest empires in history. Okay, now the Greeks. The Persians were followed by the Greeks under Alexander, who defeated the Persians. Alexander the Great was an ancient ruler, and he was famous because he established the largest empire the ancient world would ever have seen. The Greeks influenced the art and sculpture in Gandhara and Taxila. This region was mainly Buddhist. So next came the Mauryans. From the east came the Mauryans. The most famous Mauryan ruler was Ashoka. After the Battle of Kalinga, in which huge destruction occurred, he became a Buddhist and gave up violence. He introduced many reforms for his people to give them a secure and comfortable life. He had his rules inscribed on pillars and rocks faces throughout his vast kingdom. So the most famous Mauryan ruler was Ashoka. Now, the next dynasty that ruled the subcontinent is the Kushans. The Kushans came from Central Asia. Their famous ruler was Kanishka. Kanishka was the greatest king of Kushan dynasty that ruled over the northern part of the Indian subcontinent, Afghanistan, and possibly areas of Central Asia north of the Kashmir region. Now, another dynasty that ruled the subcontinent was the Gupta dynasty. They had a large empire and strong rulers. The most famous ruler was Chandragupta. Prosperity in the Gupta Empire initiated a period known as the Golden Age of India. The Gupta dynasty is considered as the golden age of peace and enlightenment because it was marked by the extensive inventions and discoveries in science, technology, engineering, art, literature, logic, mathematics, astronomy, and philosophy. So that's why Gupta dynasty is considered as the golden age of India. Now, after Guptas, the Parthians and the Huns ruled the subcontinent. The Parthians and the Huns came into the subcontinent from northwest. The Huns were a savage Central Asian tribe who caused a lot of destruction wherever they went. The Huns were warriors who terrorized much of the Europe and the Roman Empire in the 4th and 5th centuries AD. But they were very impressive horsemen, best known for their military achievements. Here comes the Nanda dynasty. Mahapadmananda was the founder of this dynasty. Harsha, another ruler from the Nanda dynasty, set up the Nalanda University in the present day India. This university was famous for its mathematician Aryabhatta. So kids, Aryabhatta was a famous mathematician from Nanda dynasty who invented the concept of zero. Aryabhatta was the first of the major mathematician astronomers from the classical age of Indian mathematics and Indian astronomy, right? Okay kids, now on page 74, learning. During the early ages, especially in the 4th and 5th centuries, there were great advances made in mathematics, astronomy, art, and other subjects. Taxila had a big university, the ruins of which can be seen even today. Many people came here to study. It was also one of the centers of Buddhism, so many Buddhist scholars came here. Learning advanced under the Mauryas and Guptas. Harsha, the ruler of the Nanda dynasty, set up the Nalanda University in present day India. It was famous for its mathematician Aryabhatta, who used the concept of zero. So kids, on page 74, here are the religions that people of the subcontinent that these dynasties used to follow. So I am going to read it. Most of the early people in this land were Hindus. From time to time, new religions came into being. Buddhism spread to many parts of the subcontinent and beyond. Jainism spread within India. It was mainly with the arrival of Muhammad bin Qasim in the 8th century CE that Islam began to spread in the subcontinent. So, kids, how did Islam come into the subcontinent? After the arrival of Muhammad bin Qasim in the 8th century, Islam began to spread in the subcontinent. Islam came to the Southeast Asia first by the way of Muslim traders along the main trade route between Asia and the Far East. Right? Okay kids, now I am going to discuss book exercise with you. On page 75 there is exercise A. There were some great empires and dynasties in the history of the subcontinent. Make a list of these in the order in which they ruled. The first one has been noted for you. So here you have given the space, and in this space you are going to write the names of the dynasties in order in which they ruled. So the first one were the Persians, number 2 the Greeks, number 3 the Mauryans, number 4 the Kushans, number 5 Guptas, number 6 Parthians, number 7 the Huns, and the last one were the Nanda dynasty. Right? So here comes the exercise B. Say whether the following sentences are true or false. Number 1. The Indus Valley civilization flourished in about 2600 BC. Yes, true. Number 2. The people of Mohenjo-daro traded goods with England. No, they used to trade with their neighboring countries. So false. Number 3. The Aryans were a tribe from Africa. False, because they were from Central Asia. Number 4. The culture of Gandhara and Taxila was influenced by the Greeks. True. Number 5. Ashoka became a Buddhist after the Battle of Kalinga. Yes, true. Okay, 6. Nalanda University was set up by the Kushans. No, because it was set up by the ruler of Nanda dynasty, Harsha. Now exercise C. Write a sentence explaining what each of the following words mean. Here are given 3 words and you have to write the meanings of their words. Number 1 is archaeology. Archaeology is the study of the prehistoric people and their culture by examining the objects or materials they have found in the ancient sites, Okay, number 2, inscription. Inscription means something carved or written on the surface of an object. Number 3, dynasty. Dynasty means a series of powerful people or rulers from the same family. Clear? Okay kids, now it's your turn. You are going to read the page 73 and 74 thoroughly, and you have to underline the main points. And I'm sure after watching this video you would be able to tell who was the most famous Greek ruler. Can you name the dynasties in order in which they ruled? Can you name the most famous Mauryan ruler? Who invented the concept of zero? How did Islam spread in the subcontinent? So kids, that is all for the today's lecture. I am sure everything is well understood. I am going to see you in the next class. Till then, all of you stay home, stay safe and study hard. Take care and Allah Hafiz.